Within the ancient kingdom of Orzeca, the topic of sacrifice was not so uncommon for the highest ruling elite. Nameless children were picked for rituals on a regular basis. Their captors did not appreciate their crying screams, as they were annoyed, so they devised a plan to suck away bits of their souls into small little toy soldiers made of metal for the purpose of making the children more lifeless or calm. But one did notice this. Ibidor arrived in a profound act. He decided that the best thing to do is run a commotion by breathing life into the soul sucked within the toys, causing the animated weapons of Gifenrisia. The children's souls encased within the ancients looked for escape and bashed their cages open, and of course the authorities struck back. They managed to deal with the Gyphens in a similar way many of you slay regularly within the temple. Black Desert's lore is dark. It is very dark. This is a little snippet which I took away from my HADUM video. It was not an easy thing to read, let alone, especially for me personally, understand how worse it actually was. Today I wish to really go a little bit more deep onto this story in order for people to really understand what type of a world Black Desert actually is. I would like to read to you two pieces of knowledge, and I'm going to recite it one by one while putting it over onto the screen. Hexamoa's trick. While it is widely known that the Olans, the weakest of all who lived in these barren lands, were sacrificed as living offerings to Zarka, before Zarka, nameless children were offered up to the divine tree of the Thornwood goddess, once worshipped by the Orzecans. For they believed that the innocent blood of the wailing children would bring about the abundance of the goddess. Only the priests knew about the sacrifices of these children in the abyss of oblivion, and no one else. This was due to the Belshuan's witch, Hexamoa. She had a trick up her sleeves to deal with the crying, scared children. She would call forth Cantarnia, the genius architect of Orzeca, to gift her pastime of creating toy soldiers of brass and bronze to the children. Once the toy was thrust into their hands, the children would cease crying, and the witch would make them sing songs about the toys. The children would lose themselves for hours playing with these toy soldiers in the pitch-black cave without a single light. And yet, one being would come to hear this song that resonated throughout the deep and lonely abyss of oblivion. Now, it is very important to note who that one being is. Of course, we're talking about Ibidor, the Shadow Snake. Of course, you already heard what happened post that, but see, those children, some of them perished, unfortunately, due to Ibidor's influence, due to the outrage which happened with the Gifenrisias, but others survived. And I'm going to read a second bit of knowledge, and I'm going to recite it again, one by one. It records the tale of Belshuan's witch after the day where they rid Odilita of the brass and bronze ancient weapons brought to life by the shadow of another realm. And I quote, "Goddess, bestow your forgiveness upon us, as we have filled this cup of oblivion before you with the teeth of the children who were deceived by the snake of the shadow and brought disaster upon the sacred swamp." The witch shook the cup which disturbed the silence of the abyss of oblivion with its rattling. "Do not bestow the blessings of reincarnation to these children. May they forget their past lives, yet retain their emotions, eternally suffering from the fears and loneliness felt during the time in this cold cave." When I say Black Desert's lore is grim, that's an understatement. It's grim dark. It's unreasonable. Black Desert lore has moments like these throughout the entirety of the game. Horrific deeds, horrific things, horrific people, horrific characters. It is, to be fair with you, Conrad Kurz got nothing on Hexamoa. See you soon.